Hey friends, it's Alex and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing with you some releases that I am highly anticipating between April and June. So this is just a small list of 9 releases and I have a few kind of honourable mentions. The honourable mentions are mainly because I tend to only really highly anticipate books by authors that I know I love. But there are some books by authors I've never read before that are coming out within that time frame that I am quite interested in, but they're not quite highly anticipated because I've never read the author before, if that makes sense. So we will start with April. So I have 3 releases on my list for April. So the first book on my list for April is Witches Steeped in Gold by Shannon Smart. This is a Jamaican-inspired young adult fantasy, and the cover is beautiful, and it just sounds really good. So it follows 2 witches, and they are sworn enemies, but they have to work together to take down a threat. And that's all I really know, but it sounds really interesting, and I'm really excited to give it a go. And this one comes out on the 20th of April. The next book on the list for April is Kate in Waiting by Becky Albertalli. I love Becky Albertalli. I've read all of her books. They're always so much fun. And this one follows 2 friends, Kate and Anderson, who are really close and they do everything together. And then one day a guy called Matt shows up at their school, and both Kate and Anderson have a crush on him, and so they have to kind of deal with that and try and find a way for it not to affect their friendship, I guess. And this one comes out on the 22nd of April in the UK. All of the dates I'm giving are what I believe to be the UK release dates, and I've got them all off Waterstones. And then the third book for April is The Road Trip by Beth O'Leary. I've read Beth O'Leary's other 2 books and I really enjoyed them, so I'm really excited to read this new one by her. And this one follows Addie and her sister, who are going on a road trip to a wedding in Scotland, I think. And I think not long after they set off, they get into an accident with another car, and it turns out to be Addie's ex and his best mate, who are also going to the same wedding, and so they all 4 end up in a car together going to this wedding, and it sounds like it will be quite awkward and potentially hilarious. We shall see. And this one comes out on the 29th of April in the UK. So now on to May releases, and the first one is Blade of Secrets by Trisha Levenseller. I read her book Warriors of the Wild, I think it's called, and I really enjoyed that, and I have her pirate series on my TBR, but I need to read that, and I'm really excited. And I also have The Shadows Between Us on my TBR, but I'm really excited for this new book to come out. It sounds really cool. It is a YA fantasy. It's not a standalone like Warrior of the Wild or Shadows Between Us. It is the first book in a series, but I'm still really keen for it. So this book follows Ziva, and she is a blacksmith and she makes magical weapons, and one day she's commissioned by a warlord to make a powerful sword, and when she discovers that he wants to use it to like enslave people and rule over them, she goes on the run, I guess to hide from him. And she's joined by some other people, and they go looking for a way to either destroy the sword or find someone who's worthy of wielding it to keep it from this warlord. And it sounds super interesting, and I can't wait to read it. And that one comes out on the 4th of May. The next book is Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. So this book follows Ryland Grace, who is on a mission to save Earth and humanity, and if he fails, then he won't save Earth and humanity. But it sounds like he wakes up from the space sleep and he doesn't remember what his mission is, and he's the only person of his crew left alive, so he's got to try and remember what he's meant to be doing and then do it by himself. I really love both of Andy Weir's other books, so I'm really excited to give this one a try. And this one is also released on the 4th of May. Next up we have Heartstopper Volume 4 by Alice Oseman. This is just an adorable graphic novel series following Nick and Charlie. Charlie is Tori's, I think, younger brother from Alice Oseman's book Solitaire, and it just follows their relationship, and it is the cutest graphic novel series in the entire world, and I just love it so much, and I'm so excited to get the next installment. I think there's going to be 5 in total, so we're nearing the end, but I really just can't wait to get my hands on volume 4, and it comes out on the 13th of May. Next up we have The Yearbook by Holly Bourne. To be honest, I really don't know much about this book at all, but I have read all but 2 of Holly Bourne's books, so she is, like, I know she is one of my favourite authors ever. I will literally buy anything that she puts out. Like, I don't even need to read the synopsis to see if it's something I'd be interested in. I'm interested in it just because it's by Holly Bourne. Reading the synopsis on Goodreads, it just sounds like kind of high school drama, but knowing Holly Bourne, it will have some kind of depth to it, and I really can't wait to read it. And this one's also coming out on the 13th of May. So those are all the April releases I'm looking forward to, and now I'll move on to the June one. Next, I have The Box in the Woods by Maureen Johnson. This is book 4 in the Truly Devious series, but I believe it's kind of like a standalone, I guess. I haven't actually read the Truly Devious series, but from what I understand, the first 3 books are like one mystery, and then she solves it in the first 3 books, and then book 4 is like following the same character, but like a new mystery. It's not following on from the first 3 books. So I don't know what it's about. I haven't read the first 3 books, so I don't want to read the synopsis of this one and spoil myself. But it's a mystery series. I have read her Shades of London series, and I really, really love that, and that's kind of mystery vibes as well. So I have absolutely no doubt that I will love this series, and so I'm really excited for this new addition to it. And it is coming out on the 24th of June. And the last book on this list is This Poison Heart by Kaylin Bayron. I read her other book, Cinderella is Dead, which is a retelling of Cinderella, and I really, really, really enjoyed it. So I'm excited to read more from her anyway. But this specific book is a retelling of The Secret Garden, which is one of my favourite books of all time. And that is literally all I needed to know that I want to read this book. That's it. Like, I'm 100% going to read it just because it's a Secret Garden retelling, and I'm really, really, really excited. And that one comes out on the 29th of June. So now I'll just do a few quick honourable mentions. These are all books by authors that I've never read anything from before. First we have The Darkness Outside Us by Elliot Schaffer, and this is a sci-fi book set in space and on a spaceship, I think, and it is following 2 people who are sworn enemies stuck on this spaceship together. Sounds fun. I also have In Deeper Waters by F.T. Lukens, and this is described as a mixture of The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue and Pirates of the Caribbean, both of which I love. And I'm excited that it's got the Gentleman's Guide vibes, because I don't particularly want to support Mackenzie Lee anymore, so it's nice to find some books that have similar vibes by other authors that I can hopefully enjoy just as much, if not more, so I'm quite keen for that one. I also have The Infinity Court by Akemi Dawn Bowman. I have actually read a book by her. I read Summer Blue and I did really enjoy it, but this isn't one that's just super high up on my excitement list, so I thought I'd just throw it in here as a quick honourable mention. And the last honourable mention is Darling by Kay Ancrum. I've once again not read anything by Kay Ancrum, but I've heard loads of good things about the other books that they already have out, and I am really excited to read any of them, really, but I thought I would just mention this one because it is coming out in June and I'm quite keen to, maybe I'll give it a go first, or maybe I'll give one of her other books a go first, but I'm quite keen to just try her as an author. So those are my anticipated releases for April to June. Let me know if you're anticipating any of these books, or if you're anticipating anything else, I would definitely love some more book recommendations, so leave them in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't, it would mean a lot to me, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!